a similar building like this one.
Okay.
We just opened it last year.
So you got one of these in Dublin?
Yes. In Dublin we have. I don't have this.
Let's take one.
This is it.
If it says take one, I can take one.
That's all right.
Well, I'm going to read
That's all right.
What's, is this part of it or is this not?
Which one? Yes.
What it is?
Yeah, this is the purification one. There we go. Yeah. There's a box for it.
I've seen a lot of money here. Yeah. I've seen a lot of expense in all of this, you know, to do all of this.
Yeah, we actually in Scientology, it's pretty general that people are getting involved. This is the first thing you do in Scientology if you start to move on the purification of because that is basically taking the toxins.
So does that stop people smoking?
No, not necessarily. It is your decision. I would say that those toxins which are affecting your body and thinking, those are what is coming out. But everything, like even sunburn is coming out on this program. I know people who stop smoking after the purification or not, and I know people who don't. So it's more like it's depending on the person and his own free will.
What do you mean sunburn is coming out? What does that mean?
But sunburn is affecting you, and then when you do the program, you actually getting re-experiencing this.
She got sunburn today. Where's she gone? Where's she gone?
Oh, she has some.
She got sunburn today. She needs to. You should study this over here. You got sunburn today, didn't you? Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like.
Over there it says something about sunburn affecting you.
Oh, I was just looking at this magazine here.
Oh, we can do that one. This place.
Oh, these are free?
Yeah.
Oh, free.
This is
Thank you.
this is the this one, and that.
How did you just get all this stuff away? This stuff must cost a fortune.
Basically, what is happening is the church is part of this church. It's basically every income is going back into helping people, like those drug booklets.
You don't get paid. Your money goes back in.
Well, the people are working here get paid because it would be, but there is no one, there is non-profit. There is no one who gets the profit, and then it makes someone rich or something. You know, like the.
Oh, I get it.
It's like basically all your income goes to pay the people who are working here, to pay the gas and the phone and the bills and the things, and then the rest is going into helping.
Wow, it's amazing. Can we have that one?
This one here is, yeah, there's more,
If there is more of that, then yes.
Ah, great.
Okay, there you have it.
Thanks. Have you got one already?
well, I
Oh,
got
it's a
this
different one.
impact
Okay.
magazine, it has a lot of pictures of.
I don't
Like it
sleep
has a
very
picture
well,
of
so I'll be in
chicken
my
in it.
hotel room tonight reading all this.
Would you mind very much if I took one of those?
Let me give you this.
Wow.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
I've got one of those.
And this is, you have this one?
I got that one, yeah. I picked that up here.
This is actually, yeah.
There.
This is actually one of the books. You saw that?
Yeah.
This one, this is the same thing. That book is this book.
Yes.
Yes, every 3
But a
seconds
tiny one so I can
someone
keep it in my
receives
bag with me.
And that's basically the idea, is that everybody can print their own, because like company leaders are doing it for their employees. There is a priest, a Baptist minister, who made his own way to happiness, and is actually creating peace in the area of where he's
Where
in
is
Los
it?
Angeles.
In LA.
You know what happened in LA? We have a TV channel. Actually, this is on the TV channel. Let me give you this one. With this, you can actually spend more than one night, because this is a constant TV channel about the programs we do. That's yours.
So that'll be in my hotel room then.
You can in here, like in the US, you can you have a TV channel. Here, you can go on the internet and then just go on there.
Okay.
On that.
So that'll be on
Take-
my computer then.
Yeah, I have a program. You can actually download it on your phone, and then it's how it looks. Is this one? Scientology Network.
Scientology Network. Okay.
And this
And
is a
all these
TV.
movies, Would they be on the?
Not all of them, some of them. The Dynetics movie is fully on it, and then there are these programs like what happened in Los Angeles. You know, there was this killings and everything, and two Baptist ministers decided that they want to do something about it. They started to campaign for peace. Then they found a way to happiness, and they started to do with that like marches, like for 500 nights, like the thousands. And what happened?
Sorry, did you say thousands of people joined in?
Actually more than 10 nights, 10,000 of people.
Sorry, I don't quite understand. 10,000 people
Tens of
joined.
thousands.
Tens of thousands were helped by this, or joined the march.
To the peace march. Every year they are doing that.
Sorry,
It's bigger and bigger and bigger
Tens
every
of
year.
thousands of people joined
But
joined Scientology's sort of peace marches.
Well, basically, it's not Scientology's peace march. It is a peace march. Like Scientology is a hub, but there is a lot of non-religious activity involved. So that's not Scientology.
I'm waiting to ask
per se. Like if someone like Scientology is supporting a lot of charitable activities which are using Aaron Hubbard's technology for non-religious reasons,
I
like
see. Sort of
rehabilitation,
secular reasons.
Yeah, secular activities like education. There is no religion in the education. We teach children how to study anything, the Bible or how to become a carpenter.
So you could study the Bible and you could study Scientology. You could do the two
Scientology is not a
together.
non-denominational religion.
Okay, so I could be a Buddhist and a
We have
Scientologist.
Buddhists, we have
What
Jewish
about-
people, we have Catholic people, we have
Could I
Jehovah's
be-
Witnesses.
She's a witch, really. She's a witch.
Yes, right. Could I be? Could I worship the spaghetti monster? What's that one called?
The Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
That's
yeah.
right.
That's
I mean, all
very
joking
easy.
aside,
This is like basically Scientology is not going to interfere with your religious beliefs.
and it won't interfere, so I can practice both at the same time.
Absolutely. Scientology is literally will help you to become a better worshipper of the Cookie Monster. Like
The Cookie Monster? Do you mean the spaghetti? So are you
It just
saying that
sounds like common sense.
Scientology?
That's not where we came in, is it?
No.
Cookie Monsters in Scientology?
No. Would you confirm something for me then? So by studying Scientology, it would make me a better Christian?
yes.
Really?
I know people. Like I know people who are Christian. I know people who are.
All denominations.
We have even Jehovah's Witness, which is not a lot. I'm telling you because that they are not so patient religiously. Jehovah's Witnesses regarding with their own people.
Right.
But we still have people who are studying because they want to become a better parent, a better friend, or a better husband, or just feel better or something, or handle better life.
So is it more like a self-help group or how?
It's basically something you study and you apply.
Okay.
It's the truth.
It's sort of it's the truth, and it's kind of
It's truth for you.
self-improvement in every area of my life. Okay.
Well, whichever. Basically, it's you use. Like for example, there is this little booklet. You read it. I know people who changed their entire life for it. I was working with criminals with this booklet.
You really were.
And
where were you doing that? Here in the UK?
No, it was in Mexico, in Ensenada.
In Ensenada, that sounds beautiful.
Ensenada. It is basically one of the highest, Tijuana, that region.
Yes.
It's right at the border between Mexico and the US.
Okay.
With the highest killing rates, the highest, like literally that prison I was in, there was not, like per the official report, 98% of the population of the prison was on drugs.
What?
Was on drugs, was drug addicts. And in fact,
Seriously?
I was in the prison and I spoke to the prisoners who live there. It's like, I don't know anyone in this prison who is not on drugs.
Crikey.
But the drug distribution was run by the prisoners. The prisoners are running the drug distribution. The guards are getting like $50 wage a month.
Yeah.
And they get another 5,000 from the drug
So,
distribution.
in a sense, you understand why they can be tempted to
Of course.
to help
Of
run the
course.
drugs.
This
Yeah.
whole system is
broken.
made for this one.
So you worked in that prison and you worked with this.
With this booklet and with this, and with prisoners.
Could you tell me what were the results? So you went from 98%
Well, the point is, it's funny because it's Mexico. We had, okay, very short. There was, I have a lot of stories from there.
Oh, I bet you do.
But there is one of my favorite one. There was a guy. His name was Tijuana's Monster. Before he got into jail, he was a hitman, and he was in a drug dealing. He went into the prison.
So
and
he's
he
a
took over the cartel.
Bad man.
He wasn't a saint. That's in a really far cry.
Yeah.
So basically, he went on the program, and it's not just this one, because for that we have to handle the drugs, and we use that part, which is the Narconon program.
Narconon, okay.
So basically, we got them off the drugs, but still you have a criminal. So you handle that one too. It's a very interesting thing how you handle a criminal.
Yeah.
So he's not a criminal anymore. So this guy from Tijuana's Monster became the ethics officer of the program.
What? So
The ethics
he
officer.
ended up working for,
Yes.
he became a Scientologist?
No, not a sign, because these are all non-religious programs. This
Right.
is not
So it's a
Scientology.
secular program.
He came off drugs and
Took
he
over
started
running-
to actually work in the program, in the prison, to help the rest of the prisoners.
Okay, it's because he had a connection with the other prisoners. He was probably a really good person to communicate
he was
your
pretty-
message. Yes. So are you able to say how many people you managed to get off
I
drugs?
think
Or is
half of the population was on the program.
yeah?
But the problem with Mexico is that when there is a new election, then everything changes. Like if you are a dean of a university,
Yeah.
when the new president is elected, you are still the dean of the university, but you have no power anymore.
Because the new
The new
president
president
selects.
takes a few months, makes, okay, so this guy is staying, this goes, this is, and then after a few months, they tell you, you are still the dean, now you can make decisions, or you are actually
out.
fired, and
Yeah.
then it's the
Yeah.
dean, and then you have, so this is what happened, and we had some allies, because the prison system is pretty corrupt.
Yeah, I can
And
imagine.
we were actually jeopardizing big monies and psychiatry influences and so on.
Psychiatric influences.
Yeah, those are the ones who are drugging the prison population.
So,
Like,
so
you're
it's
putting
like
them-
psychiatric drugs that the 98% of
No, no,
people
no,
are addicted
that
to.
one- No, psychiatric drugs they get all the time, but they were like this is like a they get it like breakfast. They are keep drugging them, but they were having their heroin addiction. I had a guy who was a professional killer, and he joined the program because he didn't find his vein anymore for shooting heroin.
His
And
vein
then-
had collapsed.
And he was like, okay, so I'm gonna do this sauna program. This is what we start with, the sauna program for the, and then I will record, and then I can shoot again, and I can keep shooting. So anyway, that was the thing.
But would you say that the sauna program helped him? Did he then go, when he'd done the sauna program, did he go back to the
No, he
heroin?
didn't find it.
It got him clean.
Now that was the thing. That is
Wow.
actually, if you work with drug addicts, there is a point, and I did that because I was working with the secular area in Mexico.
Right.
And that is Narcon as well. And there is a very interesting thing with drug addicts. All of them is starting any drug rehabilitation program with the solid conviction that they will get back on drugs anyway.
I get that, yeah.
And that is just a stable thing that, yeah, I do this program, but in the back of their mind they will know it's just a question of time when I'm going to get back on drugs. And on this program, on the Narconon, I spoke to many guys who finished the program, and they said that there was one point when it suddenly hit me that I might not have to go back on drugs anymore.
He had a choice.
It's just and that is when the whole thing turns.
Yes.
Because until that, it's like you are helping someone to suffer less from his disease or whatever we call it.
Yeah.
But at that point, he realized, oh, maybe there is another way. And that's basically that is really something which like worth living for, because then you see these guys, and then when they finish the program and the family is there, like I saw like one of, like, Mexico is pretty divided, there is the poor people and the rich people.
Yes, yes.
And there was this guy, he's a businessman, he's a very proper businessman, very conservative, like really unapproachable, and his son did the program. And then on the graduation, the father comes up to speak, because they just it's like a family thing, like everybody speaks who wants to say something. And then the father starts crying in front of everybody and cannot stop it. It's just things like this, it's just not something you see. And then finally when he can speak, it's like, thanks for giving back my son. That was the whole thing. Because the other thing is, when you have a drug addict son, in the normal way of society, you go to the normal authorities, they will tell you have 1% chance that your son is going to come off the drugs. Meaning that he's a gunner. Like, you don't have a son, you have a drug addict for the rest of his life.
I'm sure
And
it's all
that is
really
what is
like
the thing.
that.
So the authorities would say there is a 1% chance to get a son.
Psychiatry has this. Do you have your lights on?
Oh, thank you. Is it dazzling you?